It's Friday, August 9th. I'm Tre'vell Anderson.
And I'm Priyanka Arivindi, and this is What a Day, the show where we are taking in the news that the Trump campaign will not be commenting on the viral meme that alleges VP nominee J.D. Vance had sex with the couch.
That's all right. They don't have to. We, on the other hand, are happy to keep talking about it.
Yeah, we are not going to couch our feelings on that one. It's funny stuff, guys.
On today's show, Ukrainian forces gain more ground in Russia. Plus, it's a date. Former President Donald Trump and Vice President Harris have settled on plans for their first debate.
But first, Trump gave his first news conference since VP Harris announced Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her running mate earlier this week, and it was a doozy. In true Trump fashion, the hour-long conference at his Mar-a-Lago resort was jam-packed with a bunch of things, including intentional mispronunciations of Kamala, racist attacks on her intelligence, incessant rambling, and of course, lie after lie after lie. We made a big cut for you just to get a load of it for yourself. Take a listen.
She's not doing any news conference. You know why she's not doing it? Because she can't do a news conference. She doesn't know how to do a news conference. She's not smart enough to do a news conference. I think that abortion has become much less of an issue. I think it's actually going to be a very small issue. If you look at Martin Luther King, when he did his speech, his great speech, and you look at ours, same real estate, same everything, same number of people, if not, we had more. If you look at January 6th, which a lot of people aren't talking about very much, I think those people were treated very harshly. When you compare them to other things that took place in this country where a lot of people were killed, nobody was killed on January 6th. Whether it's Indian or black, I think it's very disrespectful. But to me, it doesn't matter. We are going to start the largest mass deportation in the history of our country because we have no choice. It's not sustainable. She's a woman. She represents certain groups of people. The Democrats are really the radical ones on this because they're allowed to do abortion on the 8th and 9th month and even after birth. If she becomes president, our country is going to be a giant fail. It's going to fail. It's going to be a failure the likes of which this world has never seen.
Any time you attempt to compare yourself to Martin Luther King Jr., just
Listen.
Maybe don't do that.
I'm going to need him to keep MLK's name out of his mouth, please, and thank
Far
you.
away.
First and foremost, okay? Not to mention
there's
all
so
the
much in
other
there.
foolishness, okay?
That was a light cut. There's a lot more that we couldn't fit in. So many lies, but one thing remains true through all of this. There was a new poll out from Ipsos on Thursday showing Vice President Harris leading Trump by 5 points. So I don't think he's liking the looks of that. It seems pretty evident.
The K-hive is growing, Priyanka, okay?
We are all in the coconut tree. What can we say? I think it's also, as the meme goes, important to view that conference in the context. Donald Trump is so used to dominating the political conversation and news coverage, but in the time since President Biden stepped aside from his re-election bid and gave his support to Vice President Harris, she has had all this momentum. She's getting coverage, attention, loads of money, really positive reactions on social media and in real life from all of these voters who come to these rallies. And by all accounts, there is so much new energy and enthusiasm that is animating Democrats that just wasn't there a few weeks ago. Another big thing for Trump, as you heard here, is crowd size. It's what prompted this unhinged MLK Jr. remark in the first place. But that fixation goes way back for him to the earliest days of his administration. And as we're seeing, the crowds that Harris and Walz have been drawing are definitely getting to him. Mm-hmm. And for their part, the Harris campaign responded to the attacks with a press release titled, quote, Donald Trump's very good, very normal press conference. If you are familiar with Drill from Twitter, they put a screenshot of one of his tweets at the top. It reads, quote, and another thing, I'm not mad. Please don't put in the newspaper that I got mad. They just continue to successfully troll the world's biggest troll. And not only that, they went on to fact check the lies. They called that appearance what it was, a quote, public meltdown. I, for one, find it deeply satisfying to see this team respond so adeptly to Trump when he goes off the rails like this. No one seemed to be able to do it before. No one knew what to do, but they hit the right tone every single time. It's really fun to watch, honestly.
Absolutely. It keeps me super entertained. So thanks for that, Priyanka. In other news, today also marks 10 years since Michael Brown Jr. was killed. Back in 2014 in Ferguson, Missouri, Brown, a black 18-year-old, was fatally shot by a white police officer named Darren Wilson. As his body lay in the street for 4 hours, social unrest ignited nationwide, giving way to the slogan, "Hands up, don't shoot," and continued calls against police violence spearheaded by the Black Lives Matter movement. Following 3 different investigations, the latest led by recent primary winner who bested Cori Bush, attorney Wesley Bell, Wilson was not charged for Brown's death. Here's Michael Brown's father, Mike Sr., speaking to the local Fox News station KTVI-TV St. Louis this week.
10 years. Just never forget the Mike Brown. You know, Mike Brown was dehumanized as a person. He had a family. I'm his father. He got siblings. You know, he has a mother, he has a stepmother, he has grandmother, he has 2 grandmothers that's still alive. You know, people loved him, and we will always raise him up high.
How is the community commemorating this anniversary?
Well, in addition to residents placing flowers, stuffed animals, and other items at the site where Brown was actually killed, there's also an art exhibit running through Sunday put on by the Chosen for Change Foundation, an organization Mike Brown Sr. founded to, quote, turn his pain into purpose. The exhibit is called As I See You, and it features photos, videos, books, and other mementos, including Mike Brown Jr.'s high school diploma that the Brown family hopes will further humanize their loved one. Here's Cal Brown, co-founder of Chosen for Change, and Mike Brown Jr.'s stepmom.
I just wanted to create a space not only for community, but for people to really see who he was.
Absolutely. And incredibly important, too. He's become a symbol for a movement in many ways, but was also a very real person with real interests and family and all the same things that all of us sort of share. And as you mentioned, Michael Brown Jr.'s killing 10 years ago inspired a lot of protests and organizing. But has policing actually changed in the last decade? What have we seen?
Yeah, so I think for so many people, it feels like much has not changed. Just last month, for example, a black woman named Sonia Massey was killed in her own home by police in Illinois. But I actually like what DeRay McKesson had to say to this question. DeRay, of course, is one of the activists who were on the ground in Ferguson that became a national figure as a result. He also hosts Crooked's Pod Save the People. This is what he said to NPR's Michelle Martin.
So when I think about how this will actually happen, it will be in cities and states. And I think that people have been looking for like the national silver bullet, as opposed to understanding that the best version of the change will be a 50-state strategy. That is just how policing is set up, and it will be at the city level. And I think people misunderstand that because the civil rights movement had these big national wins.
So he's saying, right, that absent a major countrywide win in the movement, such as voting rights, it might always feel like change hasn't or isn't happening. And that by pointing the focus of organizing locally, that is how we continually work toward a world where policing looks different than it does right now.
Right.
That's the latest for now. We'll get to some headlines in a moment, but if you like our show, make sure to subscribe and share it with your friends. We'll be back after some ads.
What a Day is brought to you by Delete Me. Having your personal information on the internet is like giving strangers the key to your front door, and Delete Me can keep that door locked and your information safe. I recommend Delete Me, I would say 5 times a week. It is the most amazing thing in the world. All those websites that collect your address and your phone number and just have all your information out there, Delete Me helps you get rid of it, and it makes you feel so much safer and better by using it. It's the best money I spend every year, truly.
Absolutely. Take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me now at a special discount for our listeners. Today, get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/WAD and use promo code WAD at checkout.
The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/WAD and enter code WAD at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/WAD, code WAD.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit consumercellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by September 2nd, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
At Ashley, you'll find colorful furniture that brings your home to life. Ashley makes it easier than ever to express your personal style with an array of looks in fun trending hues to choose from earth tones to vibrant colors to calming blues and greens. Ashley has pieces for every room in the house in the season's most sought-after shades. A more colorful life starts at Ashley. Shop in store, online today. Ashley, for the love of home.
Let's get to some headlines.
Headlines.
Vice President Kamala Harris continued her tour of battleground states in Michigan on Thursday. She and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz stopped in Detroit to address the United Auto Workers Union and emphasize their support for workers' rights.
Even if you're not a member of a union, you better thank unions for that 5-day work week. You better thank unions for that 8-hour work day. You better thank unions for that vacation time.
The UAW endorsed Harris for president late last month, shortly after President Biden exited the race. UAW President Shawn Fain spoke at Thursday's event about the stakes of this year's election and took shots at former President Donald Trump and his running mate J.D. Vance.
They spent their lives serving themselves, representing the billionaire class, and enriching themselves at the expense of the working class.
I mean, absolutely. And we saw throughout President Biden's presidency how he positioned himself as the most pro-union president in history. And it's very clear that Vice President Kamala Harris wants to continue that in her own run and hopefully in her presidency. Place your stress ball orders now because Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump have agreed to debate on September 10th. Trump spoke about the debate at the press conference we mentioned earlier, and host network ABC later confirmed that both candidates would attend. ABC had originally scheduled a debate on September 10th between Trump and President Biden. Trump referenced 2 other upcoming debates with Harris at his press conference, one with Fox News on September 4th and another with ABC on September 25th. But Harris pushed back, telling reporters later in the day that she would discuss the possibility of an additional debate only after the debate on September 10th. Ideally, none of us will be thinking about future debates at that point because we will be in such a state of euphoria from watching Harris demolish Trump on national TV that we will have lost our grip on time and space. I know. We can't count our chickens, but listen, we can hope.
We can hope. Okay.
It's like we're sitting there hoping for a snow day, but like instead of a snow day, I want it to be libs in the street, banging pots and pans, just celebrating and feeling something for once.
Russian and Ukrainian forces entered their 3rd day of fighting following Ukraine's surprise offensive attack on Thursday. About 1,000 Ukrainian forces pushed into Russian territory earlier this week, crossing several miles into the country's Kursk region. Local officials say thousands of residents have been evacuated from the area amid the attack. The Kremlin claimed on Thursday that its forces had stopped Ukraine's advances, but evidence suggests that Kyiv is actually gaining ground in the region. Ukrainian officials have yet to comment on the Kursk attack directly, but Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky made remarks on Thursday praising his country's military and its ability to quote-unquote surprise. Russian President Vladimir Putin called Ukraine's attack a quote major provocation in the war. Meanwhile, world leaders worry that the embattled country may not have enough resources to sustain such a bold offensive.
This podcast is going for gold in the event called Short Daily Recaps of the Paris Olympics, aka our favorite part of the program. Here are a few big takeaways from Thursday's contests. American sprinter Noah Lyles was expected to dominate in the 200-meter final, but he ended up taking bronze behind first and second place finishers Letsila Tebogo of Botswana and Team USA's Kenny Bednarek. Afterwards, Lyles revealed he had tested positive for COVID on Tuesday, which explains why he celebrated finishing the race by immediately lying down on the track. He was gasping for breath. He did not look great. Hopefully his COVID symptoms will go away soon. Olympic officials said that they supported Lyles' decision to compete. That is quite interesting. I would love to hear what everyone else has to say. Separately, wild that he was able to do that with COVID. Mm-hmm. Also on Thursday, Team USA's Tara Davis-Woodhall won gold in women's long jump. LeBron James and Steph Curry led the U.S. men's basketball team to beat Serbia by just 4 points, allowing Team USA to advance to the gold medal game on Sunday. And lastly, American sprinter Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone won gold in the 400-meter hurdles, breaking her world record for the 6th time in the process. If you watch that race, it is like those hurdles aren't even there. She is just, it's like a full sprint. Blink and you missed it.
But I want to go back to Miss Lyles, Priyanka.
Let's.
Okay. Because why is that man running with COVID? Okay, now I know it's the Olympics. You get one chance every 4 years. I get it. But
I sort of see what's enticing about it, but I don't know. I agree with you.
And he still got bronze.
It's amazing that he got a bronze. I feel bad for everyone else, obviously, because they're like next to this guy with COVID. It feels worse in a way to do that to everybody else and kind of be like, well, I could have won if I didn't have COVID.
Well, I'm sure the gold medal and silver medal winners are not worried about that man and his COVID, okay? They said, thank you for your COVID, all right?
Yeah, maybe they're happy. I don't know. We'd have to ask.
Also, when you're not watching the Olympics, make sure you go outside and look up. It's time for the annual Perseids meteor shower, which is at its peak this weekend.
I don't quite know where I'm going to go, how far I can get away from the city to be able to see this, but I would like to.
Yeah.
Do you have plans to watch this, Tre'vell?
I don't know. I don't particularly like the outside.
Mosquitoes, things, not for me.
It's just too much going on. But, come on, a meteor shower, how often do you get a chance to see one?
I've actually never seen one. I would love to.
Exactly. Y'all go look up now, okay? And those are the headlines.
One more thing before we go. Been thinking about signing up for Crooked's Friends of the Pod? Now is the time. Join Pod Save the World's Ben Rhodes next Tuesday, August 13th at 3 p.m. Pacific for a round of Ask Me Anything. Ask him about what it was like working with former President Obama, or ask him about his favorite food. Totally up to you. You can ask him anything. Head on over to crooked.com/friends to sign up now.
That is all for today. If you like the show, make sure you subscribe, leave a review, give it up for unions, and tell your friends to listen.
And if you are into reading and not just Team USA's medal count like me, What A Day is also a nightly newsletter. Check it out and subscribe at crooked.com/subscribe. I'm Priyanka Arabindi.
I'm Tre'vell Anderson. And learn how to pronounce Kamala's name, Donald.
A few random people every now and then, do you come across friends who say it the wrong way and you're like, what are you doing? No. Everyone learn how to say it the correct way.
Listen, if my country behind can learn how to say it the right way, I know y'all can.
Yeah.
I promise.
It's been a while. We can do this.
What A Day is a production of Crooked Media. It's recorded and mixed by Bill Lance. Our associate producer is Raven Yamamoto. We had production help today from Michelle Alloy, Ethan Oberman, John Milstein, Greg Walters, and Julia Clare. Our showrunner is Erica Morrison, and our executive producer is Adrian Hill. Our theme music is by Colin Gilliard and Kashaka.
At Ashley, you'll find colorful furniture that brings your home to life. Ashley makes it easier than ever to express your personal style with an array of looks in fun trending hues to choose from earth tones to vibrant colors to calming blues and greens. Ashley has pieces for every room in the house in the season's most sought-after shades. A more colorful life starts at Ashley. Shop in-store or online today. Ashley, for the love of home.
Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. With the internet's best converting checkout, 36% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms, Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers. In fact, Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/podcastfree. All lowercase, shopify.com/podcastfree, shopify.com/podcastfree.